Okay, right, I wanted to show you this today on the old Golf Clubs for Cash website. What we're going to do is do a really interesting specific search. We'll type it in here, tour issue. Remember we did the tour issue search, and we sort of did specifics that I told you could look for tour issue stuff that they've missed, that they haven't actually categorised. So here we go in the actual part where they have got proper tour issue clubs. Now, the thing to keep in mind when you're looking at these, we'll start with the wedges. We'll just pick this middle one, 44 quid, and it's tour issue. DG tour issue, so that's a dynamic gold tour issue shaft that's fitted to it. I'll show you that in a minute. Now, the thing you've got to remember with these clubs is, as you can see my little hand moving along, tour issue clubs will have more than likely a customised grind for that specific player that owned that iron. It's just something you need to keep in mind. Also, 9 times out of 10, the leading edge will be a lot flatter, not, square to the ground. Personal thing, you need to really get the wedge in your hand to feel and see how it would perform and if you could use it. Because if they've ground it off, you can't grind it back on. Right, there you go. It's a proper tour issue dynamic gold shaft that's on it. Okay, and it happens to be the smoked black one as well. So if you like that in your wedges, then that could be something. Grip looks in pretty good condition. 44 quid, that's a 50 6 degree, but they've also got 52 and 60, so they've come in as a set. They're all identical. The Rotex 2.0, that was a clever groove design on the face. Now here's where it gets interesting. There you go, we were speaking to Sean Toulon, and there is an actual proper garage Toulon, San Diego. Let's see if we can get this bigger. This is like that's like a one-off design, and it's in pretty good condition. A tiny, minute little tiny mark there, nothing. You could wet and dry and very, very carefully hide that. And there's the completely milled face. No insert, but it has got the pattern on the face. Now let's see how much they've got it for. This is a proper garage putter. It's a tour issue one. Looks like a mid-size grip on that. There you go. There's the Toulon, the garage part in there, which basically means it's handmade. There's also a little stamp up here that indicates that as well. It's the San Diego, so it's very similar to a ping answer shape. 33 inches, something to keep in mind. Fairly short, but you could always lengthen it back. £279. It's expensive, but then on the other hand, it's pretty good. Now we're getting into the real interesting stuff if you're after a driver. They actually have a tour issue Callaway, 269, it's a Rogue. We'll show you that. They've got the tour issue TaylorMade as well, but let's have a look and show you the difference between what you're looking for a tour issue Callaway as opposed to a tour issue TaylorMade. Remember, the TaylorMade stuff always has a B in the serial number. The B either stamps for the bomb squad or beta, as in it was one of the first iterations. The Rogues, they're slightly different. Callaway do things differently in the tour trucks than well, we're not going to be able to zoom in on that. this part here, which we're missing but we can't see, somewhere in about here, and sometimes here, they'll have player initials on there, okay? Well, we can't see it, we might be able to in the next one. Apart from that, that's obviously the Sub-Zero head. The weight ports on it as well can be moved or different weights put in it, so that's something you need to check. Is it standard or has it got heavier weights? In this case we've got Project X 69 gram. It's 7.0, so that's a profile bend that's very stiff, and it's got 6A3 now. It's also got a custom Callaway Rogue head cover in there as well. Full cord grip. Yeah, what I'm saying is these weights here, when you're looking at these, ask them what the weight says on it. We can't tell, but the weights could be heavier than standard. I mean, Sub-Zero should have the heavyweight in here and the lightweight in here, but the whole swing weight of this club could be different. Let's see if there's anything in the... We scroll down here. It's 45.5 standard length, Callaway Rogue. It's got the Golf Pride Tour Velvet 360, so it doesn't have a V in it. You could put a line grip on it. It's pretty good condition. And I would say £269, pretty good value. I mean, as tour issue drivers go, Callaway tend to hold their value as much as any other. TaylorMade and Callaway are pretty much the easiest to get tour issue on. Well, we'll show you this one, the M5 tour issue, and we'll show you the other Toulon that they've got there. Now, they have got sets of irons as well. Now, the thing with tour issue sets of irons, I'll show you that as well. Right, let's show you the... Right, okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you the tour issue Mizuno's first, then I'll show you the M5, right? Irons. Same idea as any tour issue wedge you get. Check them. I'll show you what to check them for. So this is a Mizuno MP fives. Now you can see they're a muscle back blade, pretty much no cavity, but what they've done is it's got a thicker top line, then it really goes quite like cut out here, so you've got a proper muscle bar low down in the head. Bag clatter, you're going to find that on a Mizuno if it's been in a bag at all, and bag clatter, it's just part of it. They're very soft. You can see there, they're all there. The paint infills maybe is coming out a wee bit on them, but you could easily fill them back in. Now this is where you need to watch with tour player irons. There you go. You can already see there, just breaking through the surface. That's because they're damn good at hitting the ball and they always hit the middle. But the rest of it, that's the, I think that's the mid iron, the 6 iron. You always find it's one club or two in the bag that you tend to practice more than the other. So just there, just there, just about there, just about there, and just about there. Still, honestly, for the likes of you and me, miles of life left in them. If you have a look at the actual grooves, yeah, there's break in the actual surface, so that will rust in time. But you and me ain't going to notice the wear out of the grooves. The pro does, because he notices that the flight drops on those just a little, and the spin would definitely alter. But the likes of you and me, they don't have the swing speed to match that. So you've got 3-2 pitch and wedge. That's still a good buy. Let's see what shafts are on it. There you go, proper tour issue, dynamic gold. Okay, the stickers are coming off. I would say these have been in a tour player's bag at least 2 seasons. At least. The amount of wear they've got. Obviously, coming in and out of bag, the bigger shaft sticker takes a bigger hammering. Let's see what grips they've got on them. Yeah, pretty much new grips. That's one thing about pro clubs. They'll get re-gripped every 2 or 3 weeks, and they're not that old. Let's see what they're saying. On the listing for anything, may have 8 irons, extra stiff, so that's another thing you're going to have to watch. Not everyone can handle extra stiff. True temper dynamic gold tour issue steel, 37.25, that's the 6 iron. They're not telling you what the lie angle is, but with it being a forged head, you can tweak the lie angle and the loft, no problems whatsoever, as long as you've got a lie machine. So that's something, that's the main keys, especially with the irons and the wedges. Check the wear, check the custom of the sole. Right, let's have a look. This is going to be an interesting tour issue. This is definitely going to be interesting. Right. So it's basically the M5. We know the M6 came out, but the M5, every player used the M5. And this one looks in good condition. Now, that is definitely a tour issue serial number. 10.5 degree loft. That's a highly unusual serial number on that club. Let's see what shafts on it. Mitsubishi Rayon 60 X-Flex. That's got a little bit of wear on it. It's not that bad. Let's see what they're saying about it. I would say the club itself hasn't directly been in a tour van, but that doesn't mean that it's not a tour issue head. It's standard length Dynama B60, so that's pretty rare, that shaft. It's an X-Flex. You need to be pretty strong to load that shaft. And they've got the shaft at 7.5. So just because a club hasn't been directly double, like hot melted or anything, checked in the tour van and got a B stamp on it, that's not necessarily a bad sign. What the B stamp means is it's just more valuable. It's rarer. So that had an A stamp on it, so it's still pretty rare. Right, so these ones, I can't believe they've got these in here. Now this isn't a garage one, so it's not as sought after. The garage ones are actually collectors. These ones aren't, they're rare, but they're not as sought after. Can't believe they had a garage one, to be fair. Right, let's have a look at the other pictures if it loads. Obviously we all know what that putter is, but the difference with this one is it's not got a face insert, it's pure milled, and it's got the pattern on the face, so the feel of this is going to be soft but firm, not like you've got, it's also got the Tour Lab stroke grip on shaft on it, which is a counterbalanced to a degree in the counterweighted section of the club. It's supposed to keep your hands quieter and more stable. So let's see how much they've got this for. 449.95. So although they're saying what they've done here, which isn't quite correct, is this ain't a Toulon garage putter, right? So that's something to watch. It's got a garage head cover. It ain't a garage Toulon. So I would argue that you possibly could get some money off that. Let's just flick back and show you why. That one's £449, right? But they've got an actual Toulon garage, which is handcrafted. We'll show you the difference. There it is there. And it's it's literally just over 200 and what was it? 279. So I think they're pricing them. Think they've got the price mixed up on them. This one should be 440 odd quid. The reason being it's hand stamped like garage. If you take this off here carefully, there'll be weight selection ports in there and ways to swap it out. And basically the neck area here has been customized too. You can see that it's got the little bend slot on it. It's got the, and in here top line's pretty much unmarked as well, which is great for a putter. Like I say, the only thing that's a wee bit off-putting is 33, but you could easily pull the grip, put a small extension on to bring it back to 34, and you wouldn't really affect the weight, not noticeably. In fact, if anything, you're counterweighting it slightly doing that. So there you go, 279. That's the rarer one, you know. That's the rarer one. So it just goes to show you what it's a bit. It just shows you tour issue stuff can get confusing even for the best. How you value it and stuff like that. Yeah, right, what else have they got? Let's go for something. We've gone for expensive stuff. Let's go for something that's kind of midway in between that people might look at, or I can show you something that you'll need to look out for. Well, there's one there, right? That we'll click on and show you. This, just to show you what happens when a wedge comes out of a tour van. The main differences of this. Too far, right? This area here where the little thing's moving, that's a custom grind. Forget about the rust. That would either wire, wool and oil off. Also you've got SG, looks like SG, that could be Stephen Gallagher's old wedge, 52 degree, 12 degree bounce, custom paint fill. You can see the original colour was blue, somebody liked light blue in there, white, sorry. Right, so wear, yeah, bursting through there, but it's a wedge. The leading edge still has quite a curve on it. A lot of tour players take the leading edge and make it absolutely dead straight, so there's no curve on it whatsoever. You can see there's just a little edge grind there. That's this bit here has been really ground so that his turf interactions, set for him. That's the difference between you and me, the pros and me and you. That's what I meant. There you go. So that's only 34 quid. So that's still got miles of life left in it. Tour issue wedge. They're just, in general, nicer to use. They feel, if you blindfolded yourself, nah, not much difference. But interaction wise with the turf, ability to open it up, stuff like that, it does make a difference. I don't care what anyone says. Tour issue stuff is, it's there for a reason. Let's see what's on page 2. We've got, it shows you how much stuff they get in that they pick up as tour issue. Got a lot of stuff will come in and they'll not know it's tour issue. Right, so down here we've got a full set of wedges. Callaway, £149 for the 3. That's 52, 56 and a 60. Stiff flex, that's pretty good value. There you go, full set of the Cleveland 199, that's good value. What else we got? Wedges. See again here, you're talking custom grinds in there. That's actually main things. The lie angle could be tweaked as well, which is why you really need to check them. Let's see, anything really interesting here? Yeah, now that's an interesting one. I'll show you that one because that really is a touring shoe. This is tour shoe straight from the van. Right, let's have a look at this. This is where tour issue stuff from the van gets highly interesting. Originally when this cup came out, this would be fully chromed, the back of it fully chromed, and it would basically look like this. And what they've done here is they've typed that and just stamped it as a sweep. And what they've done is they've got that on a grinding mill, and that no longer looks like any kind of Mizuno wedge they ever come up with. That's been completely ground down, hand stamped with that Mizuno flag in there, and it's got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grind sole on it, and it's been heavily used. But with it being cut up like that, it'll still grip the ball, it'll still give you some spin. You can see here, this is where they make the money on the wedges, pros. This is so you've gone open the face up, and the heel area here is ground away so that it cuts through. That's right in, taking the hosel away here. So that's a real tour issue tech. Someone's really hand ground that. Could have been the pro themselves, but the tech guys more than likely done that because it's all re-stamped up. Proper tour issue, dynamic gold shaft, mid-size lambkin. That just looks, that would be just good to have in a display cabinet or use it. I mean, there's still plenty of life left. That could have come from any one of the Mizuno staffers, Luke Donald, anybody could have. I mean, you know, you've no way of knowing. 24 £24 95 pence. That's unbelievable. 60-degree lob wedge. It's 0.25 longer than standard, so I'm telling you now, it's not come from Luke Donald. Unbelievable though that they've got stuff like that in their website. Brilliant. Brilliant. That's sweet. That's, for the likes of me who's a club geek, that's like really interesting. And loads you can learn. And there you go, they've got Strixon tour issue stuff as well. Click on that. Strixon, really difficult to spot tour issue Strixon stuff. Most of it gets imported from Japan, which tends to give the game away because you'll have never seen it before in your life. The heads look slightly different. The shafts will be exotic, rare. There you go, it's a Miyazaki tour issue 6.S Flex X, I think, 5554. This here, 5554, this bit, that's the shaft flex profile. So if you start at this end, it's 555, and then at the butt, at the tip, it's 4. So if you know how to work that out, it's stiff, but it's got a soft tip. It's got a grip you can rotate because the shaft rotates with the loft. Obviously, Lowry plays Strixon. You can go 1 degree up, 1 degree down. Tour issue driver there in really good condition, £119. Why? Because virtually nobody's heard of Strixon Z 565 drivers, and it's a 9.5 degree standard length. Yeah, so you don't get the head cover and you don't get the wrench. 8888. Okay, so that's a quick look. Tour issue when you actually type in tour issue into this. But like I say, always worth checking the drivers, looking for B stamps on the TaylorMade stuff, because then you know for sure the head's tour issue. I'll show you in greater detail about Mizuno drivers and how to spot tour issue Titleists, but that'll be for another day. So thanks for watching. This video will drop. Check out the video we did with Top Bloke, Sean Toulon, and there's more coming on the channel. Thanks for watching.